Well, it is the 7 of Aaron Plessinger and Hunter Lawrence battling together. Who's going to get out in front of all the times you want to be leading? This is the most important time, Justin.
And Aaron was super aggressive down that first rhythm lane to get past Hunter Lawrence. That's some really urgency that I've never really seen out of Aaron Plessinger. He wants to lead this race. Earlier, Dan mentioned he qualified fastest. He's already out to a decent-sized lead over Hunter Lawrence, and he was manualing those whoops, using his long legs, manualing through those whoops. Looks like, oh, Hunter almost down whoops. Look at the lead that AP already has. Incredible.
Well, here we go. Ostensibly a teammate of the winner of heat number 1.
Absolutely, and if you're AP right now, this is exactly what you want. Stay as clean as you can, ride clean laps, try to just do the jump so he didn't do the finish line there. But if you know, Aaron's got the long legs, and also he grew up racing GNCC. He grew up in Ohio, a lot of kind of deep black soil there, muddy soil, and he was not afraid to ride in it as a youngster, he told us earlier. So he's got some experience in this, and anytime we talk about mud racing, we always bring up the 7 of Aaron Plessinger. So let's see if tonight, if he can get it done in this heat race.
He's just got to keep it upright and merge. Don't forget that the number 14 of Dylan Ferrandis is in 3rd right now. You must be a mind reader, and I was going to say how impressed I was with Dylan Ferrandis last week when I think he finished in 5th. Look at Hunter Lawrence. He needs to redeem himself from last week, but Dylan Ferrandis able to move up like that and put him in the 2nd spot, and Anderson trying to take advantage. Do you carry momentum in the whoops, JB, or do you need to let that front end drop down so you can get sort of navigate a path, if you will?
No, you should. You don't really want to let that front end drop. You just want to kind of let it float on top of the whoops, just like Aaron did there. He had a great pass. Good battle right now. For second, Dylan Ferrandis trying to double through the whoops. He kind of seat bounce there off the track, getting squirrely. Hunter Lawrence behind him, and Anderson's got a front row seat to all of it.
When I talked to Roger McCosker, he talked about Aaron Plessinger hanging off the back of the bike. You got to get that traction to that rear wheel to get it to grip. Keep that light end fluffy so it sort of rolls across that. Look, there are farmers watching on Peacock right now in Illinois. They're like, man, that's the kind of roads you plant corn in.
That's exactly right. There's a great analogy. Aaron's looking impressive right now. He's just doing what he can, and he's just trying to focus on his laps. He's got a pretty sizable lead, and sometimes this can be the most dangerous spot because you start thinking, okay, I got it. I got this race. I just need to stay on 2 wheels rather than just pushing forward. So if you're in Aaron Plessinger's head right now, you're just saying, all right, just try to keep the bike on the track, do some nice, consistent laps, stay on the feet, or stay on the balls of your feet. And if you need to seat bounce and jump, go ahead and do it. But I would recommend just trying to stand up as much as you can. And that's what Aaron Plessinger does. He's great at doing that.
On the big screen, we're running the 14 of Dylan Ferrandis, coming all the way from France. Was on a factory ride last year. Now on a satellite team off the actual track. Hunter Lawrence is going to take advantage. And it looks like he's going to lose a spot to Hunter Lawrence. Question is, can he get it back? Cuts right across and looks like he's able to limit the damage as he gets back on the track.
Yeah, Dylan really riding well right now. And their practice partners, Dylan Ferrandis and Hunter Lawrence, ride at the same place. Dylan rides at the Lawrence compound down in Florida, so they're really good friends. They even go back to the GP days. And Hunter off the track in the whoop section. Hunter's off the track into the big mud hole. No harm, no foul. He's back on. He's good to go. Still in 3rd place. He needs to try to track down Ferrandis.
Both the Lawrence brothers having trouble in the whoops. Jason Anderson, the number 21, back in 4th place. Looking right there on the big screen. There is JA21 on that green Kawasaki. Remember, 2nd place at the season opener last week in Anaheim. So he's carrying a little momentum, but this mud might get in the way of him getting back on top of the podium.
Well, and as a rider right now, you're really trying to just focus on your laps, but also you're trying to manage your motorcycle. You fans out there are going to see a lot of these motorcycles start to smoke late in this race, or even in the first few heat races that you've got to see. The bikes are overheating. If they stop too much and rev the motorcycle, and if they're too hard on their clutch, because you're constantly using your clutch in these conditions, you really want to try to manage it.
Let's talk about Cooper Webb, number 2 on the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing bike on the big screen, that blue Yamaha. another rider who switched last season. Brand new ride, brand new team. Not looking the greatest right now, but not bad at all. He's in fifth place. That's manageable for him.
Yeah, fifth place is solid. Gets you squarely into the main event. And Cooper rode an incredible race last week. Was ended up on the ground in sixth place, but looks like he's going by Anderson right here on the big screen. Made a clean pass, a nice double. He's tracking these guys down, and when you think of Cooper Webb, you don't really think of a mud rider, but I'll tell you what, he's had some great mud races in his career, so he could be one to watch tonight, Dan.
And he did win the heat race last week against Jet Lawrence. He gets right past the 21 of Jason Anderson, and he made that class quick and clean. A little surprising how fast he did it. Now he's going after the 96 of Hunter Lawrence on that red Honda that you see on the Supercross big screen. Honda HRC, Hunter Lawrence again, tough break in the heat race last week. Much better results for the Honda HRC, Hunter Lawrence right here tonight.
Yeah, and if you're Hunter, you just want to get into the main event. He had so much bad luck. He was on the ground multiple times last week in Anaheim. So for me, if I'm giving Hunter any advice right now, stay on two wheels, get into this main event, and look, he can do some damage once you get into that main event because he's really, really good in these conditions, but I know it's in the back of his head. Just get into that final, get into that main event.
Talk about the helmet. They've got that black thing and extended visors. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, that's just trying to keep the mud off. If you throw the mud onto a helmet without that, it sticks to it. Well, then you can hardly hold your head up because the mud is so heavy on your head. So that foam piece on top of the helmet, on top of the visor, is just something so the mud does not stick to it so it doesn't get so heavy.
Well, let's take a look. Aaron Plessinger up on top. Keep in mind, he has 2 career heat wins. Just 2 in the 450 class. His last was Arlington 2 back in 2021. Remember, we were doing those residencies, and so we were there for 3 races. At the second one, he got a heat race. That was almost 3 years ago. We've gone with a heat race win drought for Aaron Plessinger. When he comes back around, we're going to get a white flag, and if he can stay upright, which I don't think it's going to be a problem, he will get that heat win. He has a 10.4 second gap over second place. Let me recap the top 10. Let's go for the top 9. Let's do the Rocky Mountain ATVMC top 9. Aaron Plessinger, Dylan Ferrandis, Hunter Lawrence, Cooper Webb, Jason Anderson, Malcolm Stewart, Christian Craig, Derek Drake, and Austin Politelli. Those are your top 9 trying to stay in and go straight into the main event from here. White flag is out. It is getting close now. That last gap of 10 seconds has clearly been closed by the 14. Now it's down to 3.3 seconds. And Plessinger stalled. He stalls the bike. And here goes Dylan Ferrandis. The 14. Look at the pressure. Can he answer back? The number 7. Giving it all. He wants this win.
Plessinger up into some lap traffic, and right now, if you're Aaron, just focus ahead. You cannot think about Dylan. Focus only on the track. The track is challenging enough to try to think about something. Oh, Aaron makes a mistake. He's off the track. Ferrandis around him.
Wow, what a heartbreak, but he's a 14 on the last lap of this heat race. Can he recover again? He wants to stay
There goes Cooper Webb around him.
as high up as possible for a good gate pick. But that is a trick with racing hard here. You can lose control, spin out, and drop out of first place just like that.
Well, things can happen so quick, and that's what I mean. You just really can only focus on yourself, focus on the track. There's so many things going on. There's lap traffic everywhere, and there's ruts across all these jumps, and the mud is just so slick. So many different conditions to deal with.
Dylan Ferrandis is going to come around and take the checkered flag. Wow, Dylan Ferrandis on a satellite team ride, got on the Honda. He said he was happy about riding on the Honda. Now he has proof.
Cooper Webb goes through the pass on Aaron Plessinger, makes the pass.